Hello guys, this is Julia, and today in this video I'm going to show you guys how to repair Windows Update on Windows 10. As you guys know, sometimes Windows 10 updates can break. In fact, they can actually break pretty easily. So in this video I'll be showing you all the methods of how you can go about repairing it. So it's not broken yet in this VM, but I'm about to break it. So there's a couple other ways. Before I show you this this other way, it's only for a certain scenario, but it may work in others, but I'm going to show you the easiest way. So Windows key I is settings, by the way. If you push Windows key I, it will open settings. Let's open Windows Update. You guys can see there's already an error in Windows Update. That's really funny, actually. I'm not sure why there's an error there, but maybe it's because I shut the VM down while it was in the middle of updating. I'm not entirely sure, but Windows 10 does not like when you shut it down in the middle of updating because it freaks out, and sometimes it could corrupt the Windows Update files. I've seen it happen, like you're downloading an update and say you lose power, or you're downloading an update and you decide to shut down while it's downloading, or something like that. Or something happens to where in the middle of downloading it just shuts off unexpectedly. That can really do damage to Windows Update on Windows 10, and then it might keep giving errors, and it may not update, and it may not work at all. But I know a fix to that, so I'm going to show you a couple different ways. Well, for one, you could go to the troubleshooter and try that, but I don't think the troubleshooter works that well, but it's right here. So if you want to run the Windows Update troubleshooter, you could try that and see if that fixes your problem first. But if it doesn't work, then move on to step 2. So step 2 is going to be going to your C drive, Windows, and going to software distribution. It's lagging right now because this is where all of the Windows Update files are stored. Okay, so we're going to want to delete these, but before we delete them, we're going to have to open a command prompt. So you can click down here and search CMD. I already have command prompt on the desktop. We're going to run it as administrator, and what we're going to be doing is stopping the Windows Update service, because if the service is running, we can't touch any of these files. It's not going to let us. It's going to say it's in use. So you type net stop WUAUSERV. That'll stop the service, so we could go about deleting these. So it will stop successfully, so now you have to quickly delete it. I would have them side by side, and the reason why I would have them side by side is if it starts again and says in use, you can push the up arrow enter on the command prompt, because when you push up arrow, it just has the last thing you typed. I forgot to check this do all, like do this for all of them, so let me just do that. And you see, we didn't have to do it again, but there was a case where I did have to do it a second time. In fact, there was a case where it wouldn't stop, and I had to boot into safe mode and do it, which you could just go to restart here and hold shift when you click it, and then you could tell it startup settings, and then that's how you could get into safe mode. I believe it's in like troubleshoot advanced, and then startup settings, and then you click restart, and then you push like 4 at startup, and it goes to safe mode. So we already stopped it and we cleared this, so now I would recommend obviously rebooting at this point. So we're just gonna reboot. That's just the way to fix corruption in Windows Update, like files that didn't fully download. Oh, and it's updating right now. Isn't that great? But pretty much when you clear out that software distribution, it resets Windows Update. So any files that were downloaded or cleared and all of that stuff, even the update history gets cleared as well. It like completely resets it, and I've had to do that several times on Windows 10, and it's always fixed my problem for the most part. Unless we're gonna go to scenario number 2. Oh, working on features. Because in this next scenario I'm gonna show you, even clearing software distribution won't help, but I have a file that will help it. So I'm going to show you guys something in a second. So once this boots back up, you would try updates again. If it kept giving like an error saying and it was corrupt and it wouldn't download right, that's pretty much how you'd fix it. You would just clear out software distribution completely. and that will fix that problem. But that's not always the case. Like, that's not always gonna work, because what if your problem has nothing to do with that? Which there's a couple things I'm gonna have you look at to determine if it's that or not. So, so before I do scenario number 2, let's just look at Windows Update. That error should be gone. It should look like it's reset when we open it. It shouldn't say an error anymore. It should just be gone. See, you're not up to date. That's really funny, actually. But if we go to update history, it's blank. Completely blank, because we cleared out the entire thing. It will keep the last check date there, but this will say either you're up to date or you're not up to date when you reboot, because it cleared it. Let's check it, because it says we're not up to date. It should work now. Clearing software distribution won't cause any harm. Pretty much. Clearing software distribution won't cause any harm, because it just clears out those files and recreates them again. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. So we're just going to give it a second and see if this finds updates. But while it's doing this, let's talk about scenario number 2. So let's say, oh, look at this, we're getting updates, see, and it's going to work again. So Windows Update should be functional again from this point, and it should work. So that's for if you have corrupt files in software distribution, it will fix that. So first step, if you're having an error, troubleshooter. Second step, clearing out software distribution. Don't forget to stop the Windows Update service, otherwise it's not going to let you. And then we're going to talk about scenario number 3, which there is a file to repair Windows Update. So what I'm going to show you is, let's just say, you're messing around with your computer and someone sends you a file. We're just going to take this Tony's Optimizer experimental file here. So let's just say he sends this file. Oh, this will optimize your computer, and this will clear out your cache and stuff in your temp. And we're like, well, that's cool. Like, don't we want to do that? And we run this as admin, because they say you need to run it as admin. So you're going to notice something if you look really closely. Now, you may not see this if you look. Did you just see, what's this? SC delete service success. What is that? You're probably like, if you saw that, you'd be like, oh, it's probably just clearing something out. I don't know. But now we're running this file. But you're probably not knowing what that was. Yes, I want to continue. And it deletes temp files. And you just see it just deleted temp files right now. So it did do its job. So if we go to, well, before we do this, let's just push OK. Okay, let's go, percent temp percent. And it did clear out the temp. So the temp was cleared, it did what it said, but it did something else that it didn't say it would do. So while this is updating, you should never do this. Restart. This is exactly what corrupts it. But what we're about to see, like, by the time it reboots, it should still be trying to download those updates, because Windows 10 will just continue. Okay, so I keep getting DMs, so I have to keep cutting it out, but Windows 10 should resume the update process once it's back on, because it will it'll leave where it picked off at. So wherever it was, it will pick up on. And it'll just resume itself, because obviously that's what it's going to need to do. And that's usually what Windows 10 does. If, like, I think the corruption mainly happens if it's an unexpected shutdown or something. But if it's an expected shutdown, it's not as likely to mess up, but it still can. So I think when you reboot or shut down, it lets it know, hey, this is where we were. But even if it shuts down improperly, it will still be like, hey, this is where we were, we need to continue. So we're going to go back to Windows Update. So, as I said, don't reboot when it's in the middle of updating. Just don't. But we did this for the sake of the video, because we know how to fix the corruption anyways. But this is scenario number 2. I'm sure you guys are probably already thinking, you probably already know what's gonna happen by this point. So we're gonna open it, and it should be resuming, right? Well, it's not. It just says, you're not up to date, check for updates. If you don't already notice that, it's just like, it's where the updates it was downloading, it's not. So we're like, okay, well, let's check it again. And we get an error immediately off the bat. And it says that there's a problem installing updates, so try again later. Now this was not because I restarted, this was because of this file. It just didn't take effect until we rebooted the system. So, we're gonna click retry again. And once again, it's not working. No matter how many times we click this button, it's not working. It's just giving an error message every single time. And this last check date isn't even changing. Now, if you are to open services, you'll notice something missing in there. And I'm sure you can already see what's missing. Windows Update. But we still have the Medic service, and this actually tries to repair Windows Update, and it looks like that's what it's trying to do at the moment. But let's just say you didn't know about this missing, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do the other fix. And you're going to go to the C drive, you're going to go to Windows, and you're going to go to Software Distribution. Well, before you do that, keep in mind, you have to stop the service, but what does it do when it's not there? You're probably wondering, well, is it just going to say it's not existing? What's it going to do? Well, let's find out. It says that the service name is invalid. Why? Because there's no service called that anymore. The file removed it. So it doesn't even exist, so no wonder why that doesn't work. We can still delete these. We can still delete these files, and it will let us delete it because obviously the service is gone and it's not running and it's not using them at the moment. So it'll let us delete it off the bat. Because it also gave us this error saying it's invalid because it is invalid. Now we're still gonna have to provide administrator perms. Oh yeah, after you delete this, I forgot to mention, empty your recycle bin. So, I think the reason why is it's got duplicates in the recycle bin. It still worked, even though we didn't empty it, but empty it anyways, because it just helps it from completely refreshing. I will put like a caption. I know this video is kind of long, but I'm just trying to show this. I was going to show on my computer, but it's getting a little long, but this fix I'm going to show you works for like every version of Windows 10. Okay, it doesn't seem like it's working now. For some bizarre reason, it's not letting us delete it. It's just stuck. But does that really matter though? I mean, it normally should, because I've deleted all this before with the service not there and it worked. So I think it's just the VM being weird. Let's just make sure. Okay, but there's also a say that sometimes you have to stop another service, which is this, BITS, which is the Background Intelligent Transfer Service. It's not really used as much in Windows 10 as it was in 7. It can have something to do with deleting stuff in software distribution, but watch this. It's gone too. So we have a fix for that as well. And I'm going to show you guys. Oh, there we go. It's deleting. Because this file deleted. But not, where? Oh, there it is. Because this file right here deleted 2 services, not just one. We're going to empty the recycle bin. But it's always good to, like, if you notice this error code 0x800700424, that means a service is missing, most likely Windows Update. You would even get that in the Windows Store because it relies on the Windows Update service. In fact, it relies on a lot of things. It also relies on your activation and all that. Because one time when I had it not running, like I had it disabled, I connected to the internet the first time, the computer didn't even activate when I knew it had a digital license. I had to either run the troubleshooter or reinstall Windows, because back then they didn't have that. The troubleshooter didn't exist until AU. So if you have RTM or NU, you pretty much have to reinstall Windows in order to fix it, or maybe repair install would fix it. Or you could just put the service back, but then again, I'm not sure how it would work after the fact. So this still isn't working. Even if we were to type net start. Now I had a case where one time it got deleted on my computer, but it tried repairing it. But like it wouldn't start, but it was there. So my recommendation is just to delete it again and then repair it. Now I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to make this code bigger. I don't want you seeing all this code, but I'm going to show you where it is. So hold on. Okay guys, so if you see in this program right here, I found the malicious code. This SC stands for service. And then delete, so you're specifying to delete a service, and then you say what service you want deleted. And it will delete it. I don't know why it lets you delete it, but I think it's really lame, because it's like, that's important. And it also deleted bits as well. Now this doesn't have to be capitalized, but it doesn't matter if it's capped or not. It will work regardless. So, pretty much, here's a malicious code, and this is how you delete the services if you want to delete them and re-add them with the files I'm about to show you, because the files I'm going to show you does re-add the service. So, if we open services, we also don't see bits, which should be right here, or right about here. This is background tasks. It should be background intelligent transfer service, and it's not here. And Windows Update, it's also gone, but the medic service is there. So it tries to repair it. But it's what we're going to do is we have two files, and I'm going to upload these and put a link in the description so you guys can download them. I'll put them in a zip. This one repairs bits. So you don't have to run as admin because it already has a built-in admin prompt that asks you for admin. But if that isn't working, you can right click and run as admin. So this says repair bit service. It'll attempt to repair the background intelligent transfer service for Windows 7 and up. So this one works on 7 and up. So if you're having an issue with it not working on Windows 7, you can also use this. So it says Bix has been successfully recreated. Windows Update is not working. AK silly letting people on her computer, and she knows exactly what's going to happen. Which yeah, I know it's going to happen. Run this fixit 50202 file to attempt to repair Windows Update service. However, that file is for Windows 7. So in Windows 7, if you want to repair bits in Windows Update, you run the bits file and then you run this, and this repairs Windows Update for Windows 7. So you could just look up this KB number online, or you could just look up EasyFix 50202. I'm not going to put it in this file since this video is for mainly Windows 10, but it's really, really easy to find online because it's on Microsoft's website. So if you want that file, that's how you can get that file, is from Microsoft. And then we're going to run this one. But while that's running, now this says for RS4, it works for all versions of Windows 10, so I'm going to edit it. But if I refresh this to F5, and you can see that going up there, bits is here. And now here's this. It's creating all the registry keys. Because apparently with Windows 10, it has a ton of registry keys that it needs in order for Windows Update. So now it says Windows Update service has been successfully recreated. So also if the service is corrupt, you should just delete it and run that file to replace it. So if I push F5 again, and I scroll all the way down, there we go. Now it sets it to automatic delayed, although it should be manual triggered start. But when you restart the computer, which you could just click check for updates right now and it would start going, but once you reboot the computer, it will indeed change to manual triggered start automatically. Like, it'll change it itself because Windows 10 knows what it should be on, and it will change it. But if it doesn't, you could always go change it and make sure it says manual triggered start, because the way Windows 10 does its updates is different. And look at this. It's working. As you guys can see, it's fixed. So that's if the service is completely gone or corrupted and you want to delete it and replace it, or if a malicious file deleted it, which I actually got pranked with this file. I got pranked with this saying, oh, it clears temp, and it did clear temp, but little did I know, it deleted the Windows Update service and bits off my computer. But I guess the good news is, I know the fixes and I know how to put it back. But it kind of freaked me out because my computer partially put it back and the service wouldn't even start at all. And I was like, what? And then I noticed Bits put itself back, and it just said Bits though. It didn't say the actual name. I'll put screenshots showing you. I don't have the Bits one, but I have the other one. And just showing you what it looked like on Windows Update. And the description was gone. The service name was there, but the display name didn't say Windows Update. And as far as the one for Bits, it didn't have its display name, but its description was there, and the service was working and running. So it was able to repair Bits, but it wasn't able to repair the Windows Update service. And I'm guessing that Windows Update Medic service, which is in Windows 10 RS4 and up, fixed Bits. And it tried to fix Windows Update, but didn't work. But I'm showing you guys the fixes. So in that case, when Windows Update wouldn't work, I just deleted the service and recreated the service, and it started working perfectly fine again. It's working at the moment, I think. Oh, come on, settings. Are you gonna open now? And you can see it's working. I just have to restart for an insider build, but it is indeed working right now. And the service is back because I deleted it and recreated it again, and it started working. The insider build kept looping, trying to install 3 times, and now it just needs to restart. And I don't know why it's not done it yet, but I'm gonna do it here soon because I want to get that update. So pretty much, guys, that is how you can fix Windows Update in Windows 10. And also, if your computer's taking a lot of space, you could also just delete download in there, and it would delete all the downloaded updates. If you don't want to reset Windows Update, but you want to clear its cache, you could just delete the download folder in software distribution, and that will also help you. And I just noticed this icon down here. Your device is missing important updates. Select this icon for more info, and I'm guessing it just opens this. So if I was to close this and I double click it, it's just gonna open that again, I'm assuming, because that's what it would do. And yeah, it is doing that. So I'm gonna let this update. I'm gonna come back, we're gonna restart it, and then I'm gonna check the service to see if it changed back to manual. So I will be back, guys. So I'm back because I had to go do something, but it's got these updates. It's pending restart. We're gonna restart it, and then when it's back on, we can check and see if it's updated, and then we'll check the service to see if it changed from automatic to manual. So guys, I will be back. One thing I'm adding in the middle of the video, because I forgot to check this, is the WinRAR is now 17134.285, so we are up to date, and we checked it later on the video again, so pretty much that's great. Alright guys, we are back. We are going to check to see if the service changed from auto to manual, which it should have, because the one for Windows 10 is manual triggered start. It still says automatic, but I don't know if it really matters what it's on, but just always make sure it keeps updating. And I would check, because if we change this, it might stop checking. I'm not sure. But it still works, even though it's on that. So I really don't think it matters what setting it's on. But the default setting for this should be, when we put it on manual, it'll say manual trigger start. But pretty much, yeah. So I'm going to change that. And you can see it changes it to manual triggered. So I would just go do that just in case, but I would also check to make sure it's still auto-checking and all that after you do that, just to be on the safe side. So pretty much, guys, those are the ways to fix Windows Update on Windows 10. So Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully this helps you guys, so let me know in the comments, and bye-bye for now.